Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the only truth which you need to understand is your body is the biggest source of signal. है ना?
Correct.
So whatever signal your body will give, if you go by let's say what other people have experienced in their own life, then that is a way how you probably are minimizing what your body is going through,
Correct.
which means that ऐसा अगर आप ऐसा करोगे कि if you leave these parts, these triggers or these thoughts untouched, you
हाँ
will
जी.
not be able to understand from where it has come up, right? If anything remains untouched, if anything goes untouched, then you are chopping off a very important possibility of going back to the source. Okay.
Hmm.
Now for us to manifest anything, okay, manifestation, let's say 3D 4D sab kuch, all of these concepts you keep it one side and you don't have to confuse yourself with any of these terms. Okay. First of all, the thing is manifestation is not a one day job. Okay. Every moment you are manifesting something or the other thing,
Correct.
right? And why I say that, because subconsciously or unconsciously, whatever thoughts are getting repeated in your mind again and again, again and again, that is how our brain collects information, no?
Correct.
So whatever information your brain is collecting, that same thing your brain will project. Okay, your life is a projector. Okay, is a projection, and your brain is a projector.
Correct.
If life is the movie, your thoughts will be the director of these movie.
Okay.
Okay. It is as simple as when you stand in front of a mirror and you see that a pimple has popped up in your face. And if you start rubbing the mirror, will the pimple go away?
No.
It won't go away, no? What you need to do is touch that part which is your face, not the mirror. You have to do many things here, not there.
Correct.
When you mend things here, that is when the projection will appear as it is.
Correct. Correct.
Now, manifestation can be possible for us to manifest anything. Now, manifestation can also be a good night's sleep.
Correct.
Manifestation can be शांति से बैठ के एक चाय, one cup of tea, you know.
Correct.
Not necessary always that manifestation has to be related with money all the time.
True.
Okay.
True.
What you are thinking in the present moment, you are manifesting that. You're preparing your brain's wavelength based on that. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, because when our brain does not understand what it is trying to manifest, it just understands language of frequency. When we feel good, automatically there is a internal bodily feeling कि अच्छा चल रहा है आज सब कुछ. So
Hmm.
that is also a time when everything happens so nicely, you know. Sometimes when we say that when something good happens to us and our entire day ends up being good only.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Likewise, sometimes when we सुबह सुबह ही कुछ अगर कलेश जैसा हो जाए, है ना,
हाँ जी.
तो उसी चीज से ना there will be a ripple effect throughout the day,
Correct.
right? But ripple effect throughout the day, you can also
Change it.
prevent it from happening when you don't give in to the ripple. When you
Hmm.
don't, it's like, aaj se I will eat healthy. First meal of the day was healthy. Second meal, you have started, let's say, craving some sugary stuff or whatever. Okay.
Hmm.
And if you then decide कि आज तो ये सब खा ही लिया, चलो dinner भी, let's just, you know, not stick to the plan. Then of course that is a decision which you are consciously making, no? But you could have easily used that कि okay, breakfast was good, lunch was okay, I wanted to give in to my cravings, but dinner फिर से I will rectify, or फिर से I will have whatever nourishes me.
Correct.
What are you doing? You are manifesting, no? How are you manifesting? With your thoughts first. And more than thoughts, with the feelings first. We feel things, no? before even thinking about ice cream, we feel the taste of ice cream, and therefore we start drooling. From that drooling starts all of these thought process ki chalo, I will order it only.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Right. So therefore, maybe your sister has told you this, that whenever certain things कुछ ऐसा चीज होने से maybe
मतलब saying, don't go into the depths of it कि एक बार feel कर लिया, acknowledge कर लिया, now move on,
it,
so
it's very personal. So
correct.
it is very personal and it's very circumstance based.
Hmm.
Okay. I think I told you in one of the classes, maybe when we did therapeutic art, that you don't have to give meaning to everything, but that doesn't mean that you have to skip important things.
You have to skip important things.
You don't have to. That doesn't mean that you have to skip important things.
Hmm.
है ना? Because if something is screaming out very loudly inside of you, then you go and acknowledge it. And then you can decide that if you feel your body can take it up, then you go in and try to understand it a bit. If you feel that your body is not ready to take it up now, then maybe you can always think of addressing it maybe later, but do address it. Everything that goes unaddressed, no, it gets stored like a carryover thing. बाद में when you are having a bad day, no, tab it will come out as in form of conflict, in form of
Hmm.
self-sabotaging behavior, all of these.
Correct. Correct. And ma'am, another thing connected to this is like how much of time should we give to acknowledgement? Because suppose we are going on acknowledging, especially for children, like I keep acknowledging, they keep going into that mode of, release, scream, shout, because I'm giving them that space to be, right? So
Yeah.
after what point should we start doing the somatic work with them in order, like, get them to now do art therapy, or take maneuver them through दिस एक्नॉलेजमेंट से मनूवर देम टू, सो वो मेरे को समझ नहीं आता कि कितनी देर उनको रोने देने के बाद वी हैव टू स्टार्ट नाउ गिविंग. So it's important to give the emotions an outlet to release, but after what point should we now maneuver it to art therapy, or say to any other form of
Any other form of therapy.
movement, or
Yeah.
say dance or movement, or scribbling or journaling or whatever.
Okay. So let's say, Payal, I ask you that, Payal, how has your day been? Okay.
Hmm.
Let's say you have said this then, and automatically you will go move into a story. You know what has happened today. And then moving into a story, I know that you have moved into a story. Now it is as a facilitator, I have to also keep in watch about the time, right? So the moment you move into a story, let's say you speak for a minute, and then I will probably ask you that, Payal, I want to interrupt you here, and I want to ask you that, how does the story make you feel? How are you feeling about it? Okay. Now that you are telling me these things that you are going through, how do you feel? And let's say you are now, I will ask you to vent a bit. While you're venting, maybe I'll give you some time to vent. Maybe you are venting only by ranting, or maybe you're venting by maybe you have tears in your eyes. Okay. So maybe after a minute or so, I will ask you to, let's do one thing. Let's just help you with this feeling. Acha, close your eyes and tell me, where in your body do you feel the impact of this statement that somebody has told you something? Let's say, where do you feel the impact of the story? Maybe you say the throat. ठीक है. I want you to put your hands on your throat and see, how do you feel? Okay. How is your breath? Okay. And let's say if I take you through mindfulness. So how can I take you through mindfulness here? How can you include mindfulness here? Maybe I can ask you that. I want to just observe the sensation that you are going here. Is getting, what story is getting repeated in your mind? Okay, what story is being replayed in your mind? How do you feel about it? Just observe. Just observe. So mindfulness is all about observing. Okay, mindfulness is not about you giving solution immediately. It's only about observing. How do you feel? So what does it say about you? Okay. And then when you give some description to me, maybe that is how I can either take you through an inner child, or maybe I can ask you, okay, so tell me, how old do you feel as you are feeling this feeling? Okay. When I take that route, so understand that mindfulness is a bridge. Mindfulness is a bridge to different modalities. Okay. And we will go ahead with one exercise today. After this, I will go ahead with an exercise. Uh, Through that exercise also, you will have a fair idea how to proceed in a proceed a session, take a session through mindfulness. So maybe I can take it up. Let's say I tell you that how old do you feel? Uh, One inner child has popped up, let's say. ठीक है. Then I will take you forward with that and full inner child intervention for this particular issue, whatever has surfaced up in the session. And then maybe I can include, while integration part, let's say everything is done. Okay. Now integration part means inner child ka integration part. Okay. While you're doing the inner child session and all the integration is done, maybe that is when you can bring in some form of therapeutic art. You can ask your client to uh, draw the integration. How do you feel? Okay. Let's say you don't want to take your client through one inner child session. You can only ask about how old do you feel, and then whatever sensations are there, can you put it in an art form? है ना? तो वो पहले ही आपने माइंडफुलनेस की ब्रिज लेके यू हैव गॉन थ्रू थेरेप्यूटिक आर्ट. ओके. माइंडफुलनेस का ब्रिज लेके यू कैन मूव इनटू EFT. राइट. Mindfulness is basically, in simple terms, it is a grounding process, but more about awareness, and it's not about it is about awareness and not about releasing. Okay, so that is where the somatic and mindfulness ka difference come, which I will again, I'll today also I will help you understand. Okay. Okay. And you can go through the last classes recording. Okay. All right. Hi everybody. Thank you. Ophelia, how are you feeling? Good.
I am better.
So nice.
Happy to be back here. Thank you.
Great, great. Okay. Hi, everyone. Let's go ahead. Now, before we go ahead, Runa and Harpreet, I also want to ask you, do you have anything to ask from last session? I mean, last class?
Nothing as such.
Okay, great. Ophelia, I would ask you to go through the recording of last class. Okay? And then maybe whenever you need any help, or if you have any queries in mind, no, you can always put it in the group. Okay? I'll be happy to answer. Acha, so we will start with an exercise, with an activity. Okay. Now, before we start with this activity, I want to tell you how. Acha, I will give you a breakthrough of the exercise later. Okay, I'll give you the breakthrough later. But some of the things that I want you to understand is, while as a facilitator, okay, embodying mindfulness as a facilitator is very important. All right. Why is it important? Because it is not only practicing mindfulness is not only a tool, right? But it is also about yourself in daily life. How are you operating in your everyday life? Okay. It is more about, it's a more um, conscious choice, है ना? So make it a way of being as much as you can. All right. While you are facilitating any mindfulness session, um, or while you are doing including mindfulness part in any session with your clients, no, it is very important for you to remember that as a facilitator, you will not be fixing anything. Okay. So you are not there to fix your clients. You are simply there to witness more about them. And it will be very easy and convenient for you to witness about your client story when you are also embodying it in your everyday life. Then you will not be in a rush or hurry to think about steps. Is it the right step? Is that the right step? Because when you are facilitating your sessions with your clients, no, only you know it. It's like in dance shows, no, what happens? We see dancers dancing. If the dancers are making some mistake, if the choreography is a bit wrong, we as audience, we don't know whether it's wrong or right, but they understand it and they navigate it, right? So probably somewhere we also might, you know, feel that, is it going right? Is it going right? It's completely okay. You can change things. Okay, you can change things in between session. You can stick to your gut feeling. All right. Sometimes, you might be stuck at some point, and there might be a moment of silence, and your client might also notice that silence in you. Okay? But I want you to understand that silence is a very powerful tool, and it's also a very powerful teacher. So you have to trust the wisdom of pause there. Okay. Now, whether you are doing any kind of session, past life, inner child, whatever kind of session, cognitive sessions, whatever sessions you're doing with your client, you can always give them homeworks in form of, you can give them exercises in form of homeworks, right? What can you do? How can you give them? Maybe you can give them the techniques of, you can always give them techniques of breathing exercise. Okay. Now, breathing exercise is one technique, not only box breathing, but there is a very powerful way of including mindfulness in breathing. Okay. That is, we will go through it. Wait, let's just go through it once. Oh, where is Ophelia? Acha. ठीक है. Now I want everyone to close your eyes. Okay. I want you to close your eyes. And rest your back well. Ease your body. Ease your neck, especially your neck, around the shoulders. Ease it up completely. Loosen it. Start taking slow, long, deep breath. And as your eyes are closed, bring your attention outside of your body. Bring your attention outside of your body. And now I want you to observe and try to listen to sounds that is around you. Try to collect as many sound, voice, noise, basically sounds. I will mute my mic and then you can start observing and take a mental note of what kind of sounds do you hear around you, outside of you. This activity is to close your eyes and observe what sounds can you hear around you outside of your body. Keep breathing, keep focusing. Once you are done, except for Ophelia, I want others to very gently open your eyes and note down what sounds could you trace. Or maybe you can type it in the chat box also. Up to you. No worries. Okay. If you have noted it down, yes. Okay, great, great. All right. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to close your ears. Okay. Don't press it very hard, but gently close your ears. Okay. Gently close your ears. And then gently close your eyes. First, listen to my instruction, please. Then, what you will do is close your eyes. You can start closing your eyes. Start closing your eyes. Take a slow, long, deep breath. Eyes completely closed, okay? This time, close your ears with both your index fingers. Okay, great. Again, hands down, hands down, hands down. Yes, yes. This was a trial, okay? Now, keeping your eyes closed, what I want you to do this time is, your eyes are closed, your ears will be closed, and then I want you to take a note of all the sounds which you can hear inside your body. So close your eyes, close your ears, and take a note of all. Observe all the sounds that you can hear inside your body. Whenever you feel ready, you can gently relax your hands, open your eyes, and this time note down what could you observe? What sounds, what are the different sounds or voices that you could observe inside your body? Okay, now tell me, what was the difference? What did you feel? Whoever wants to go. Yes, Ophelia. Yes, go ahead first.
Mm, the sounds outside me, though one of the sounds was still very much around me, I didn't feel like uh, it was part of me.
Mm.
But the waves, the rumbling sound, the sound of the breath,
Mm.
and also to an extent, I could hear a thump of the heart.
Mm.
Um, those made me feel a sense of uh, aliveness, like almost like some kind of a higher awareness that
Mm.
क्या चल रहा है अंदर, like I'm alive,
Yes, yes,
right? Otherwise we're in autopilot,
yes,
experiencing life as
yes.
we go around. It made me feel a little like very in the moment and a bit curious also. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, okay, great. Yes, Harpreet.
Hi. So, Alankita, when I could hear the sounds from outside, it was more scattered.
Mm.
Scattered, like, कभी यहाँ से आवाज आ रही है, कभी वहाँ से आ रही है. So, to make a note of it, it was all scattered around me.
Mm.
But I
Mm.
was trying to put it into that oneness thing, but
Mm.
वो scattered था, right?
Mm.
But when I closed my ears,
Mm.
it was that oneness thing. It was going more deeper and deeper within myself.
Mm. Mm.
That was one thing. So there was this breath, as Ophelia also said very beautifully, that thumping sound.
Mm.
And जैसे हम airplane में बैठते हैं, so there's this different sound, that vacuum sound or whatever that you call it as. So it
Yes.
was going more deeper. As in, like, the more I was going in, it was going more deeper and deeper, and कहीं ना कहीं that scatter feeling was gone. It
Yes.
was more as if I'm getting into that oneness feeling, and it was a very beautiful feeling,
Mm.
that deepness feeling. So
Mm. Mm. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So Runa says, like a deafening silence on my breath, sound of saliva and mouth. Yes, yes. What happens is this is one of the exercise. Maybe you can use it as a mindfulness grounding tool with clients and with yourself, especially with clients who feels out of the place. Okay. This is one technique which you can use with clients who you feel that are a little disoriented. Okay. So it will help them bring in more orientation within themselves. And it will also help them demarcate and understand the difference between what is a noise and what is a sound of silence. Okay. Because when we are looking inward, we go more into observation mode. When it is outside, we might have a tendency to move in a have an opinion or judgment mode somehow. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Please unmute. Yeah.
now that when you said, so when it was that outer sound,
Mm.
there was a lot of just irritability.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? There was
Yes.
this question going on. ये
Yes.
बंद क्यों नहीं हो रहा? You
Yeah.
know, that way. So it
Yes.
was like I was trying to make a part of my system, but still there was an effort,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm,
With
mm,
whereas when it came to that inside sound,
mm.
there was no emotion. It was very subtle. It was as if I'm going more deeper and subtle. There's so peace आना शुरू हो गया. So
Yes.
this was also one of the things.
Yes. Now this has two angles. एक angle तो ये हो गया कि outside, when it comes to outside, we have a tendency of judgment, right? When it comes to inside, it's more about awareness, है ना? The other angle is when you are facilitating a mindfulness session, na, you have to allow your clients, and as a facilitator also here, you this is where not fixing part comes. This is where you instruct them. Observe everything without judgment, whether the sound is from within or outside. Okay, yes, Ophelia.
um, I have done certain mindfulness practices for myself,
Yeah.
and over a period of time, I've been able to engage for longer like more minutes than just seconds or just 2 minutes. But I just had this question, while what is the purpose of conducting an exercise like this with a client? There could be multiple reasons, right? But I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, what if
Yeah.
beyond a few seconds or a minute, what if a client feels triggered by their bodily sounds, like uncomfortable, or maybe
Mm, mm,
tears is still release, I can understand, but what if there's like a fight
mm.
that comes out from the body? How do we navigate or manage that?
So, this is also very, very nice point and very nice question, simply because you may not be aware of it until the client feels that and displays that. So it will not only help you understand, let's say you have done multiple sessions with this client,
Hmm.
and then when you are going ahead with this particular, let's say out of the blue, you've decided to go ahead with this particular exercise. Okay, maybe to bring in more orientation or more sense of calmness within the person. But when something
Okay.
like opposite happens or some trigger happens, no, you will make a note of it, and then you can always change. You can say, you can move them, you can bring them into where in your body are you feeling it, what is getting triggered,
Hmm.
okay, what is getting triggered, and immediately you can ask them to, if it's an offline online whatever, you can ask them to paint that trigger. And
Hmm.
so
Okay.
you have taken
So triggers
mindfulness.
can be.
Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Continue. You continue.
Acha, so you can take mindfulness. So यहाँ पे mindfulness has become like a bridge, and through that you have explored a trigger and you have gone into therapeutic art, and then probably have gone into an inner child or maybe simply somatic release, not an inner
Hmm.
child also. You may simply
Okay.
ask them to feel, and ask them to, what do you do, what do you want to do with this feeling? Do you want to tap
Right.
on this feeling? Wherever it is, ask them to tap. Ask them to pair their breath with tap. Something like,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and then let's say they want to cry. Something like this. And then
Hmm.
ask them to make their face like something like that. Okay. You can go
Hmm.
like very crazy and creative here.
Okay.
It is
So this
about,
could be a good
huh?
like these reactions coming up to a short mindfulness exercise can, like you said, it's a bridge. So this can be a good thing, right? To take up to
Yeah.
address it.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, until and unless you don't use these, no, you will not know what kind of challenges might show up.
Hmm.
So it's
Okay.
always good to use these kind of bridges at times. Ultimately, see, whenever we are grounding a client, okay, grounding,
Mm-hmm.
there's a subtle difference between grounding and mindfulness, which is while we are grounding, we are observing, and we are more observant about holding on to something, okay? Like,
Okay.
I want you to take a slow, long, deep breath, feel your feet on the earth or on the ground. And then it's more like instruction based.
Right.
Grounding is more instruction based. But when it comes to mindfulness, maybe you then go a bit deeper and you can ask inquiry based.
Mm.
Mindfulness session becomes inquiry based when you are inquiring the client about, now how are you feeling in this part of your body? What is showing up?
Right.
I only want you to observe and not interpret. Just observe what is happening. And let's say
Mm.
the client says ki, I can see myself as a child being beaten up. What sensations do you feel? What narratives can you feel in your thoughts coming up? Be with that narrative, be with that sensation, but you don't have to do anything about it. You tell them, you don't have to do anything about it. This is a powerful and important statement when it comes to mindfulness, because then when you go and take them for a somatic release, then you can ask them, how would you want to express this? How would you want to release it? Okay. Maybe then you can
Mm.
hand them a towel,
Right.
or if they have a towel, and they can maybe squeeze it, twist it.
Right. Yeah.
This
Thank
is
you.
how you can take it forward. Okay. All right. ठीक है. Now we will go through a detailed exercise through mindfulness, and because this is more like a, how do I say, demo exercise, so we will be focusing on mindfulness for self-sabotage. Okay. Why self-sabotage? Because when we self-sabotage, it's not only about uh, self-sabotaging, but the part sabotage, it acts as a protective part of us. एक second. Okay. So sabotage is a protective part of us. It's not trying to hurt us, or it's not trying to, make things worse for us. But sabotaging is more like a protection from perceived threat. A threat which may not be real, but it may be a perceived danger. So it often shows up as when we are about to grow or succeed, whenever we try to step into safety. A deeper part of us while growing up probably has learned that these things aren't always safe. So basically, let's say when there are unmet needs from childhood, okay, when there is uh, fear of success or shame, because there probably has been comparison by our parents, from our parents to us, right? There, while we were growing up, most of the time it was always like, um, in order to get something, we have to do something, we have to perform something. So when as a therapist or as a coach, when it comes to giving resolution to clients, we might feel that things are getting uncomfortable. We might feel tested like before, right? So what happens is our nervous system starts linking this good feelings with that of performance, with that of danger. All right. Okay. So we will go ahead with a short yet detailed exercise that will help you to go through and experience a deeper mindfulness session. Just a moment. Hi, Mansi. Okay, you have just joined in the right time. We will go ahead with a mindfulness session now, okay? And we will be addressing a general topic, which is self-sabotage. Okay, great. Now I want everybody to put your phones, everything, all the devices apart, away from you, and rest well. Take a slow, long, deep breath. If you want to lie down, you can lie down, or if you want to just sit in a very relaxing position, you can go and sit in a very relaxing position, okay? So let's begin. You are already in a very comfortable position. You may be sitting or you may be lying down. Whatever feels most grounded to you. Very softly, close your eyes. Not much pressure. Close your eyes, feeling very safe, and very slowly begin to connect with your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. And exhale gently through your mouth. Inhale slowly through your nose. And exhale gently through your mouth. With every inhalation and exhalation, allow your body to drop little by little into deep rest. Let go of any tightness in the body, any tightness around the joints of your body. Relax your entire pelvic floor. Relax your rib cage, your jaws, your forehead. Let your shoulders, allow your shoulders to soften. Let your belly loose. And with this, I am inviting you into a very soft inner journey. I am inviting you to meet a part of you that has been working really hard behind the scenes. The part of you which we often call as the saboteur, the one who sabotages. Now, this part may show up like procrastinating. The saboteur can show up like self-doubt, like distraction, or maybe perfectionism. It may have a voice and tell you things like, don't go there, it's not safe, don't do this, it's too risky. What if I fail? Am I being judged here? Do I even feel ready? Should I announce it? Should I just tell that I'm upset? But beneath all of these, there is this part, this saboteur part, which is trying to protect you. As you are thinking about all of the statements, I want you to gently bring your awareness inside your body and see, is there a place where you feel any form of tension or tightness, narrating these statements, listening to these statements. Will I fail? Am I being judged? Should I do it? Should I just wait for some time? Maybe I'm not ready. When you keep listening, when you keep hearing to these statements, just observe, is there a place inside your body where you feel any form of tension, tightness, heaviness, resistance? Or any other feeling or sensation? Just notice. Just notice, only notice. You don't have to fix or change anything. You don't have to do anything about it. I only want you to notice. Whenever you find this place inside your body, bring all your awareness and hold it in that particular place or area inside your body. And let this part of your body know, let it know by saying, I see you in your mind's eye. In your mind's eye, just tell this part of the body which feels tense, tightened, heavy. Just tell this part, I see you and I'm here to listen to you. And now I want you to ask this part very gently. Who are you? There'll be an answer. Just keep note of this answer. You ask this part, who are you? How long have you been with me? I see that you're trying to protect me, but what are you trying to protect me from? Listen to what it says very carefully. Notice what arises. Maybe you can see an image, or maybe you can feel a sensation or a phrase, whatever. Okay, whatever comes up, let it come up. As you ask, who are you? How long have you been with me? And what are you trying to protect me from? Let this part answer to all your questions. And very gently, I want you to ask this part one more time. Tell me, what do you need from me to feel safe? There is something. There is something that you need from me to feel safe. Tell me, how can we work together instead of being against each other? Let it speak honestly. Let it know that it doesn't have to carry this weight alone anymore. And if it feels okay, you can gently place one hand over that area where you feel this part in your body. Very softly place your hands in that part of your body and offer it kindness like you would do to a child, like you would do to your best friend. Remember, you told this part that I hear you and I see you. So maybe this is the time when you say to it very softly, thank you for protecting me. Thank you for trying to protect me. I am listening to you now. And I want to tell you that we are on the same team. You and I, we are on the same team. And I want to tell you that it's safe for us to try something new. Keep breathing very slowly and gently. And this is where you can start slowly tapping or slowly caressing this part of your body. Very gently rub your hands, run your hands through this part of your body very gently as a sign of integration, as a sign of settlement in your nervous system, in your heart, in your body. Very gently. Keep caressing. Keep caressing your body. And when you are ready, very slowly take slow, long, deep breaths and slowly bring your awareness back into the room, back to your body, keeping your eyes closed. Gently stretch your fingers and toes. Wiggle your fingers and toes if needed. Come back to the present moment. And whenever you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Okay. And I want you to pick up your journals, pick up your copy and pen. Okay. And take some time first. Take some time. And I want you to write down which part of which self-sabotaging part showed up. I want you to recognize the sabotage as a protective part. See what voice, what age, or what age could you hear or see? And if there was any unmet needs, what unmet needs have come up? As the inner saboteur have shown up, see what did this part learn in childhood about yourself? What did you learn about yourself in your childhood? About being you, about being seen, about safety, about success. You can journal it down very honestly. You don't have to share it if you don't want to share. If you want to share it, you can. But the writing part, I want you to take some time and write it down. You can also journal down what did you learn about your inner saboteur today. As you are journaling it down, see if you want to place one hand on that specific part of your body and keep touching it very softly. Okay, and keep journaling through the other hand. We are all here to support each other's story. We are a community here supporting each other. So allow Allow yourself to finally let go, of whatever is showing up. Take your time. Take your time. Gently, you can place one hand on your heart and gently caress your heart, okay? Keep caressing your heart. Drink water, hydrate yourself, and go back to journaling. We are all here to support each other in your own life's journey. Try to get an idea where in your life do you see any pattern repeating. Now that you have identified your saboteur, see, is there any part in your life where you feel there are certain patterns getting repeated? And if there are these parts in your life where certain patterns are getting repeated, maybe you can gently ask yourself, what is the story that is being played in my mind in these moments, during these moments? I want to keep observing how are you feeling in your body, how are you feeling in your mind, both mind and body, okay? If necessary, take time to see the feeling, feel the feeling, and then write. Be an observer to your feelings. Whenever you feel that you are done journaling, I want you to let me know first. Whenever you are done journaling, okay? Just type done in the chat box and we will go ahead. Whenever you are done. Okay. All right. And I want you to settle down. Keep your pen and paper aside. Drop your body, drop your shoulders one more time. And this time, first with eyes closed. First with eyes closed, I want you to breathe in and breathe out and follow this breathing on my count. Okay? Very gently breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And slowly breathe out on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, breathe out at your own pace. One more time as we breathe in and breathe out. I want you to only observe. I will do the counting in my mind. I will say in, hold, release, stop. Okay? While you are breathing in and out, notice for any leftover sensation and just watch them. Just witness them. You don't need to figure anything out of it. Okay? Just be there. Inhale, breathe in. Hold. Observe sensation. Exhale. Now breathe in, breathe out at your own pace. Gently breathe in at your own pace. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And let's do another full body scan on and notice, is there any leftover sensation? If there is, I only want you to be an audience, an observer to this sensation. Just be an audience and an observer to this sensation. And just be in an observer mode and see whatever has come through today probably has surprised you. And it's okay. This is how you are also going to observe and ask yourself, what is that one thing this part needs moving forward? What is that one thing this saboteur part needs moving forward? It's safe to stop hiding now. It's safe to know that success doesn't mean I will lose stuff. And the biggest learning is that I can grow and I can still be safe. I can have a new belief and I can offer this new belief to my system, to myself. Keep observing for the leftover sensation without judging. And very gently hold or hug yourself. Hold or hug yourself and caress yourself like you would do to a small little child, almost like havening yourself. You can kiss your hands. You can gently kiss your palm and put it over your cheeks. Kiss your palm and put it over your cheeks. And this time, whenever, whenever you are, whenever you feel ready, you can very slowly open your eyes and write a small letter. Write a small letter starting, my dear protective part. My dear protective part. And you can go on writing. I'll give you 5 to 7 minutes to write this letter. My dear protective part. You can include certain affirmations in your writing while you're writing this letter. Some affirmations like, I no longer need to sabotage to stay safe. I can choose to receive with ease. It is safe for me to trust myself. As you're writing this, I also want to remind you that patterns, it takes years to form, and therefore unlearning can be bit by bit, not forcefully, not with hatred, but unlearning with love, unlearning slowly, unlearning with breaks. Because this saboteur part exists, hence the knowledge and awareness also exists. So maybe you can ask yourself, what would support you in honoring your growth instead of sabotaging it? What is that one tiny step or action that you can honor and include for your growth instead of sabotaging it? While you're writing this letter, you can also, towards the end, you can also write, what do I want to believe instead? Whenever you are done, let me know. Just give me a minute. I'll quickly come from washroom, okay? Okay, done. Okay, all right. So before we go ahead, how is everyone feeling? Yes, Payal. Yes, Payal, go ahead.
Ma'am, 1 second. Sorry about this.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
So, ma'am, a lot of things came up for me actually.
Mm,
And so, for self sabotaging, I'm actually quite surprised with what's come up for me.
mm,
So, for self sabotaging, anxiety, fear, and anger came up for me. And this was my inner saboteur.
mm,
And because as a kid, I was told to suppress my anger. I was told कि इस लड़की में सब कुछ अच्छा है बस गुस्सा बंद कर दे तो.
mm,
Both my parents told me that.
mm,
And the more they would tell me to suppress my anger, the more my anger grew.
mm, mm,
So they were so scared that this anger would ruin my relationship, my marriage also.
mm,
Today also, ma'am, I think this pattern is continued now for 15 years, 16 years that I'm married, that every time my relationship is going smooth with my husband,
mm,
that there's happiness, I just self-sabotage.
mm,
You
mm,
know, I mean, I can't see that happiness. I bring about this anxiety, thoughts, and
mm,
fearfulness comes up, and then I kind of, get into this pattern.
mm,
Now it's much better. I mean, I don't message him anymore and all, but still the duration is increased, but the self sabotage is still there. I mean, the frequency is decreased.
mm,
So the stories that would play in my mind is that he'll leave me, or he doesn't love me, doesn't care for me.
mm,
So these are the stories, but the point is that I don't feel love. So that's what I'm looking at, that for him to accept me with my anger also, which is not an ideal thing because that triggers him also.
mm, mm,
My anger also triggers him. If he's trying to give me love also in that moment,
mm,
again I self sabotage by pushing him away, and
mm,
that triggers him even more. So
mm.
there's no way that I let him give me love.
Yeah, yeah. So, is there a question that you want to ask me here?
So I don't know, ma'am. How do I support my growth? How do I, end this sabotage, this pattern?
Mm, mm. Okay, so I'll try to answer it short and crisp. Okay. पहले तो पायल, what I want you to understand is uh, for us to have feelings about ourselves is very important, because however you will feel about yourself will exactly be seen by your partner. And hence, if you want to feel loved and accepted by your partner, you have to do your inner work to come to that love and acceptance of yourself, that you were not too much, that it was not anger. What is anger during childhood? Anger during childhood is not only uh, when we talk about unmet needs, no, unmet needs are not only I didn't receive this or I didn't receive that, but unmet needs also means that the things which you have missed out on when parent when your parents were supposed to be in a certain way, from your perspective, from a child's perspective, not from adult's perspective.
Hmm.
Okay. Now
True.
for you to, it is, I want to ask you, how accepted do you feel of these parts of you?
Of anger and all. Of
Yes,
anger and
anger
fear.
and all. Yes, yes. Because if as a child you were made to feel that everything is good, but it's your anger, then that is one core belief which has gotten formed, no, at that point of time.
True.
Now,
It's still with.
whatever good thing happens to you, no, good thing bhale hi, let's say 90% happens, if this 10% of anger also still is unaddressed till date, no, therefore it will show up again and again, because
Hmm.
it is speaking, this anger is speaking, because what is happening while As a child, when your anger was way of expressing your needs like boundarylessly,
Correct.
है ना? Because there was no safety. You would know that अच्छे से if I say, प्यार से if I say, nothing happens. So anger is the only way through which a child can threaten parents, no? If you can't love me, or if you can't do this, look at how I will do something to me or you. It's
Hmm.
more like love me, let showing the other person to love me through threaten,
Hmm.
through threat, not through threaten, through threat, है ना?
Sure.
Right. So maybe you can, this is where number one, to I will always say you, one-on-one work is so important here. It, nothing can replace that one-on-one work for you here. Number one. Number two is, number two is how can you, using these techniques, how you can also bring a lot of catharsis to yourself is by drawing through art. Okay, through art you can draw different images of you with different needs. Let's say Payal of 6 years old who wanted something, who wanted parents to say good things about her, and
Hmm.
then drawing that image, what you want, what you wanted as a child, drawing that particular image.
Hmm.
Okay, because that itself will bring in a lot of catharsis at the same time. Because sometimes, no, for our unconscious or subconscious to believe something, we have to consciously see it. It has to be consciously there in our radar, it has to be in our environment, periphery, whatever you say. Okay. Now, what I did, I will give a breakdown of the session, okay, what we did to everybody towards the end. Now, the second thing is, what did you do? All of these knowing, it has surfaced up because there were points where I asked you to just observe and not interpret. First, we went ahead and did observe, and we did some journaling. So not only we have included mindfulness, but we have also used some form of release through journaling, that core feelings first. And then I took you again through a different breathing exercise. And this time I only asked you to observe and not interpret. पहले section में there was some amount of interpretation. Now this I did it as me as a facilitator, let's say you as clients. You have to know that as well, no? Right? And then when I got to know, like in a session only uh, awareness will not do, no? What about that awareness? It has to have some form of release. So after the first round of release, no, I took you through another round of closing your eyes and then tracing for any left out feelings, any left out sensation. Because the emotional charges were very strong in the first round, and then maybe after some amount of release, then the emotions will, it's easy to सभी को इकट्ठा लाने में it becomes much more easy, है ना? It's not fallowed in the second round. First round में it was fallowed all over the places. Okay, now for you, uh, to answer your question, yes, you can use this artwork. You can draw all those different inner child. Maybe you can close your eyes one day, one drawing every day. Now for next 7 days, what you can do, Payal, you can take अच्छे से, like intentionally take 1 hour, okay? Unbothered, undisturbed by anybody, Payal. Not your kids, not other family members, nobody. You have to give yourself this 1 hour dedicatedly. Be in your room. You decide as if you were in a session, you would have not been disturbed by anybody, no? Like that. So you be in a room and then place both your hands. Let this inner child come up. Let this younger version of Payal show up, who felt uh, accused of being angry, accused of having a lot of anger, and therefore how it has affected her relationships. Okay, so maybe you can draw that young, cute little Payal, and you can see how she wants to be treated, whatever she wants to hear. Her parents are saying that, or her husband is saying this, or her in-laws are saying this, that. Okay, what are you doing? You are bringing in integration. You're directly jumping into integration, because mindfulness say when you're putting both your hands, already at that point of time, all the raw emotions will surface up. Now whatever surface up, two things you can do: either you can make one artwork of releasing and another artwork of integration, or you can also go ahead with the integration. Okay, that is something which you can do. All right.
Sure, ma'am. So this every day one I have to do with different people. Just
That
have to just integrate, not think about okay, release. I can release with journaling also. Or
whatever whatever suits you at that point of time,
and then with every day with one person I can do integration.
with one inner child.
With one inner child. Okay. With
Huh?
different age.
Huh. Be be mindful of the words you use, because it also holds impact. No, the moment you say with one person, it becomes more like a different person. But when you say with my own younger versions,
Yes.
the impact will be different. Okay.
No, no. I what I meant with different persons means my parents, my mother, father, my
Also
husband.
that way. Ha ha ha. Yes, yes, yes. Huh. That.
That I'll an inner child can be my inner child from the last 2 years also, no?
Yeah. Yes. It can be you from 6 p.m. today, from yesterday, right?
Yeah,
But behind every adult inner child, adult's version, there will always be a younger one.
correct.
Okay,
Thank you so much, ma'am.
you're
I'm
welcome. Yes,
grateful.
Ophelia, go ahead.
Yeah. Um, I discovered, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. It's your voice is cracking a bit, but yeah, it's okay. Good.
Okay. I discovered that a lot of the self-sabotaging, these little things that you were saying, which sounded a lot like what my mom says,
Mm,
even to date. Not much to me, but more to herself.
mm,
Um, and even my aunt, one of her sisters, my grandmom,
mm,
all mom's side. And I think they were about having faced comments and some form of ostracizing from relatives, society,
mm,
right? So I felt this tightness in my jaws, and I feel this very often. I've worked on this through therapy also, but I think इसके लिए, like you were saying, बहुत time लगेगा. It will take time,
mm,
right? I remember this from the time I was maybe 4 years old, but when I was around 6, 7, I think it became internalized. I started speaking like that.
mm, mm, mm,
I still do. And it's all the patterns I have, right? Working hard, slogging, rushing, not slowing down, beating myself up, perfectionism, having to earn love and respect before,
mm,
like by doing something, right? Waiting, just waiting for love from others, not showing up for myself.
mm,
So, yeah, the letter was very powerful. And what came up is uh, authenticity, like, the need to be authentic.
mm,
And ये अलग अलग spaces में अलग levels में आता है, where I feel like again it becomes external though, because when I know that I can be accepted by a certain, like, here I feel
mm,
like I can be authentic because I know who you all are and what you all are also striving towards,
mm,
right? It's external, but I am learning even through today's exercise, and I've done some similar work before.
mm,
I'm still figuring out, how do I be authentic even in spaces where others don't allow me to be or may not be accepting.
mm, mm.
Uh, yeah. So I
Okay.
have to move inwards, I feel more, because abhi bhi external pe I rely a lot. Like, what do you think? What do you feel? I'll ask that a lot to
Yeah.
yeah, and also
Acha, Ophelia, before you say anything,
There's
I want to cut you here and
yeah,
ask something, huh?
yeah.
When you ask other people, what do you think, what do you feel? Uh, what information do other people hold that is more like, हाँ ये सही है, ये may be सही है, but ये ज़्यादा सही है.
Hmm. ये बहुत कम होता है because of the kind of people I'm asking right now. They tell me that you can do it.
Hmm.
You're overthinking.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like I'm saying, no, now I won't rely on people who will, fortunately, also cultivated that for myself, not have people who will further give fire to these patterns.
Hmm.
Although it will be the other way around, right? But still I'll ask. It's still external, and that's the point I want to work with. How do I reduce the, relying on them more?
Let me just bring my therapy copy. This I'm working with a client. I wrote down something for her. I think it's
Hmm.
on similar line. What we figured out, that there is always this is more like a subconscious pattern. So when we were doing the session, I could figure out this. Maybe it might resonate with you or it may not. But what I could
Hmm.
find out is that there is a belief that there's always a good way or a correct way of doing things, or there is
Yeah.
something on
Yeah.
those lines. There is something, there's always a good, correct, accurate way of doing a particular thing. And therefore,
Yeah.
because it exists so invisibly in my head, therefore
Hmm.
I need to keep asking or keep
Hmm.
taking confirmation.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is definitely ancestral for sure. So maybe
Hmm.
uh, ancestral plus inner child, simply because there has to be an inner child hook, no, जिसके वजह से this belief
Hmm.
is so hard
Yeah.
and strong. So maybe Ophelia, uh, through mindfulness, what you can do is keep your eyes closed, and you can imagine yourself in a safe space. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
inside the safe space there is a mirror, and
Mm-hmm.
in front of you there is this mirror, and you are looking at, you can see yourself in the mirror, and behind you are all the female ancestors from both the sides,
Hmm.
maternal and paternal side. ठीक है? uh, and you can see this feeling of or this dialogue, okay, this feel
Hmm.
or this dialogue which feels similar. Maybe you can trace it and see where did it start, which generation did
Hmm.
it start, okay.
Can I do that alone, or do I need a facilitator? And like,
This is a simple exercise which you can do, but otherwise I would ask you to explore
hmm.
it with
Okay.
somebody, I would say.
Hmm.
Okay.
Right.
But for an exercise purpose, no, like artwork, you can imagine this first, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can see how do you feel, how are all of these ancestors feeling. Through mindfulness, you just observe all of these, observe all of
Hmm.
the feeling, and when once you land into understanding all of these feeling, no, maybe you can draw that image. ठीक है?
Okay.
You can draw that
Hmm.
image, you can illustrate it, like you are inside or a safe space, there is a mirror and there are ancestors, however it comes to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
And maybe you can do something like, एक second, try to just draw and show. Let's say, this is you,
Mm-hmm.
this is the mirror, these are all the ancestors, okay?
Okay.
And through artwork, you can draw as if, so this is, we are focusing on integrating part, okay?
Hmm.
So
Okay.
maybe you can see energetically all your these things are getting like cords, it is moving out to all the ancestors to which whatever belongs, like an
Mm-hmm.
energy exchange happening, Okay,
Okay.
whatever belongs to them, you put it out to them, give it back to them. And with a different color, whatever needs to come back to you from those respective ancestors, take it.
Wow. Hmm.
ठीक है?
Yeah, yeah. Can I share one more thing,
Yeah,
if there's time?
yeah.
I I also discovered, I mean, I've thought about this a lot before, but I didn't allow it to come to my consciousness. Okay, I didn't give words to it. This
Hmm.
time I did.
Hmm.
I've had this thought that people who are smart are cunning, and hardworking people are pure.
Yeah.
And I'm a hard worker.
Hmm.
But I've also envied how smart people save energy and can live with ease,
Yeah.
which I always crave,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to sit with for some time, maybe today. Yeah.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
Very good. Ophelia, you know what I have noticed? I know this.
Yeah.
I know this person. She's a very like I. Oh God, I'm actually saying it out. I have been stalking this very nice, hot, sexy girl. Okay, Instagram. And somehow I know her. I know her, but then she's like she belongs to this group. There's this very hi-fi group of girls, no, who would like be everywhere, like in all parties and everywhere. Uh,
Mm.
one thing that I've observed, though, she belongs to a group of friend of mine. And I'm not closely related to that group because
Okay.
I can't relate. Okay, but I can see that her life is so sorted. Her life is so sorted. Sometimes I feel like sorted हुआ तो क्या हुआ? I know much more than this person. Okay, I know much more. Suniti and I also tell her that I really feel this and that. Suniti tells me that you anyways know more than her. Okay, but what I have observed, like when we wish birthday,
Mm.
how do we wish birthday to people? Generally in Instagram also, when we put up a post for somebody, it's like may you, it's a very thoughtful, no, it's like may you
Yeah.
be this, that very sanskari birthday wishes
Mm.
we do. She has wished another friend of hers birthday today, and I was going through her status, and then she has written, may you be blessed with more classiness, more this, okay, more 100% drama free. May you be blessed with this some vacation stuff, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I understood about this specific point, that you need, you can be all of this and still be, I don't know, maybe grounded at some point.
Mm. Mm.
Because then I watched and I have kept a track of whatever she puts up. I have seen her putting posts, sharing posts of other random Insta posts where there is no demeaning to each other.
Mm.
I mean, when
Mm.
you said that, no, all I could relate with is this current thing that I said just now.
Mm-hmm.
It means that, yeah, hardworking people can be simple, hardworking people can be smart, hardworking people can be cunning, hardworking people can be XYZ.
Right.
Okay. Uh, and we may not be, what was the exact statement that you said? That cunning, this smart people are this.
Smart people are cunning, but hardworking people are pure because struggle is seen as,
Yeah.
valued. It's valued.
Yes, yes, yes.
In my this thing, it's seen as valued. कि कितना hardworking hai, like that,
Yes.
glorified.
Yes.
Hmm.
So maybe you can draw all of these traits. You can give a form, a form, type, color, like basically draw these, give life and give form to these traits. Okay. And let's say you have drawn, how does hardworking look like? How does cunning look like? How does
Mm.
slogging look like? Let's say you have
Mm-hmm.
given image to each one of it. And behind that image, you can maybe draw the person who it actually belongs to, who actually represents those.
Mm.
You will have a much more clear version and understanding. Okay, it will be like decoded, that piece of information.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for that suggestion. Yeah.
right?
Thank you.
All right. Anybody who would like to go ahead and share? If yes, you can go ahead. If no, I will quickly run you through what we have done. Okay. So the first thing that I made you do is I welcomed you and I did a grounding with you through mindfulness. Okay. So it was more about understanding and noticing your body. It was more about body awareness, right? And I told you that we will be working on self-sabotage today. So I pre-decided on a topic and I told you that this is the topic that we are going to work on. All right. Which means whenever client comes to you, you can always ask that this is something, what is happening, what is showing up very strongly. Whatever shows up very strongly, maybe you can work on that. So your theme or the topic you will get from your client only, that I want to work on this, I want to work on that. Okay. And then I asked you to take a slow, long, deep breath, and I made you ground. And then I have run you through, I took you through a small narration of how does self-sabotaging look like? How does the inner saboteur looks like? Okay. And after that, I asked you to notice some of the sensations, some of the questions, right? So that was mindfulness plus somatic. How somatic? Because I asked you to place a hand and trace where in your body are you carrying it. So the moment we include our hand is also like a permission that laugh, cry, burst out. It's more like giving a permission of what next, what next. Okay, done. So when that first part was done, when everything came out fellowed, like I said, it was all around the places. And then after a small round of catharsis, what has happened, I asked you to go back to closing your eyes again. And this time, noticing only those parts of your body with where there was any leftover sensation, right? So what I did, again, I took you through mindfulness. And this time only observing, but observing without any meaningful interpretation. It's only about observing, observing, observing. And then I asked you to also journal down the new feeling, the new impact. Okay. Now, as you would take ahead this thing, flow of session, I think I've already sent some of the PDFs. So you can take those. You can take those as framework. Either you can take those or as framework, practice it a couple of times, and then you can use it in your own way. Basically, mindfulness is nothing but a mediator between starting beginning of the session and moving into a modality. That's it. Okay. And then we ended with some, I also told you that we move towards mindfulness and regulation through breath, right? I asked you to breathe in, breathe out. First, I made you do it. I counted it. Okay. You could hear me counting. The second round, I told you that I will do the counting. Meanwhile, you keep tracing your body. You keep tracing your emotions, right? And at the same time, I also told you some of the things that would bring into integration. So the integration here was not only journaling about the protective part. So that has come as form of integration. Okay. That's not only that protective part was journaling about integration with journaling, but I also gave you certain hints like if there is one thing that this part needs moving, what would it be? Right? If there is one thing that has surprised you today, what is it? Right? Then I asked you to also write down some of the affirmations, which you can create it on spot. Very easy, like very easy affirmations, right? because we were focusing more on settlement. First part was releasing, second part was settlement. Okay. And if I have to include art in this case, okay, let's say if I had to conclude it with art, or if I want to conclude it with art, then I would say that you draw your most opposite of self-sabotaging personality, your inner wise lady. Okay. So I could have asked you to draw your inner wise self, or inner wise higher self, something like that. Inner child, inner adult, inner wiser self, inner healthier self, inner more established self, inner independent self, whatever comes to you. Okay, right? So again, when it is about mindfulness, mindfulness is all about awareness without judgment, without interpretation. And when we are focusing, when we include somatics in it, somatics is more about what the body remembers. Okay. So somatic is what your body would tap onto certain emotions. All right. Now mindfulness is focuses more on mental and emotional presence. Okay. And somatic focuses more on unprocessed trauma that is stored in the body. Okay. Uh, Mindfulness is all about awareness. Somatic is all about release. Now, these are some of the things, these are some of the differences which you can also understand, because somatics and mindfulness goes hand in hand. So sometimes it may feel like while we are doing while we are doing mindfulness, I'm also touching my body. So is it same? No, it's not same. It's different, but we are integrating both. All right. The goal of mindfulness will be more to build moment to moment awareness, like what is happening. Okay, what is happening now? Where do you feel? Observe. And the goal of somatic will be to release more of stored trauma or stored stress responses from the body. Okay, all right. So, yes, here we come to an end to today's session, today's class. And I hope you liked it. I hope this has helped you. Whatever questions you have, you can put it in the group. Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.